It didn't, did it do
Button
it?
says we're on.
Okay.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Good evening, my name is Mary Maslowski. I'm the chairperson of the Harwich Historic District and Historical Commission. We are meeting in person tonight, yay, for the first time in over a year and a half.
That's the first time.
Tonight's meeting is the meeting for Wednesday, July 21st, 2021 at 6 p.m. This meeting is being held in the small hearing room at Town Hall, 732 Main Street in Harwich. I'd like to start with a roll call,
Robert Doan?
Brendan Lowney.
Julia Eldridge.
and our new recording secretary, Patty McCura, is joining us this evening. Thank you for joining us. I would, before we get started, just like to go on the record as saying thank you to Jean Steiner, who was a longtime member of our
Yeah.
board and has chosen to retire from our
I know,
board
it's
and our
too
service to the on the Historic District and Historical Commission. She did a fantastic job for us, including helping spearhead the revisions that we are proposing at hopefully the next town meeting for the demolition delay bylaw. So her contributions are greatly appreciated and will be greatly missed. But I just wanted to make sure that we thank her for all of her years of service. That being said, we have a pretty short agenda tonight. The first item on our agenda is our reorganization. So
We're down to 4, right?
we're down to 4. So
We need people.
so we have asked the interview committee to actively seek out new members. If anyone is interested in serving on the HDHC, please reach out to the Selectman's office, complete one of the citizen activity forms, and let them know your interest. We would be thrilled to have some additional members on the board. So we typically elect a chair and a vice chair for historic, so we can open nominations.
I'd like to nominate you as chair if you're willing to continue. I know you've been doing it for a while.
Thanks, Brendan.
I'll
Uh,
second that.
So a motion has been made and seconded for myself to, Mary Maslowski, to remain as chair. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. Now we need nominations for vice chair.
I think Julie's ready.
Thanks, Paul.
Second,
Let's vote.
are you willing to serve?
Sure.
Thank you.
Be happy to. I'm gonna.
That's
So a
awesome.
motion has been made by Mr. Doan and seconded by
Yes.
the chair, to nominate Julie Eldridge as the vice chair. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries.
Yes.
Congratulations. Do you need, I'm sorry, excuse me, Mary, Chairman. Do you need our forms? I just got sworn in again today.
So I don't need the forms. I just, good that you've sworn in again, so your reappointment is recorded, as long as it's recorded downstairs in the clerk's office, that's fine.
Okay.
That is for your historical reference, so that you have your official appointment
Mhm.
with signatures and all.
Yes.
Suitable for
Suitable for framing.
Suitable for framing,
Exactly.
with a nice town seal on it.
Exactly.
Right. When do I expire?
When do I expire? That's a great question.
June 30th?
We usually roll.
2024.
It's usually a rolling expiration date.
Okay, so
If you didn't get a notice, if you
Brenda,
didn't get a
must be
letter,
expired too.
No, 22 I have for him.
Oh.
Yeah, so I know it's around the corner.
you might have filled a vacancy. It came up earlier
Oh, that's
in
what it was.
Brendan's. So next item on the agenda is the review of the meeting minutes for May 19th, 2021. Did anyone have any changes to those minutes? Did anyone have any concerns with those minutes?
I move to accept the minutes of May 19th to 2021.
So Mr. Doan has made a motion to accept the minutes. Is there a second?
Second?
Been seconded by Brendan Lowney. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. So, the next item, I think I'd like to take out of order. We received the communication from the Cape Cod Commission, from Sarah Korjeff, about potentially doing some historic inventory work in Harwich. I had the opportunity to talk to her today, and really what they are looking to do is use a computer-assisted application process that is pretty close to providing the information that's on the Form B. It is slightly less detailed than the Form B, but the Cape Cod Commission would do in-person visits, they would take photographs, they would be able to put information into the record, and then it can also get flagged into a GIS flag on a map. It would essentially replace the Form Bs that we haven't done, and be in the place of the Form Bs and get that information into the state system and into our records for kind of greater detail for those records on the historic inventory that we haven't done the Form Bs on. Bob, do you have any idea how many we need to do versus?
I don't know.
But it's
offhand, it's
a
considerable.
it's a significant number, right?
Mhm.
So, this seems like a great opportunity for the Cape Cod Commission to actually assist us with some of the historic inventory work that needs to get done. It is part of the service that they will provide. There will be no charge for the town out of pocket for them to do this work. If any of you have any questions or thoughts, like I said, I had a brief conversation with her today to just see what the project was going to entail, and it sounds like it's something that would be smart for us to take advantage of. Any thoughts or any questions? So if we are kind of in agreement to see about moving forward, I think one of the next steps from my conversation with Sarah is Bob has done all kind of the research and for kind of the next updating of the inventory and dealing with the clusters, and some of that was to do the Form Bs.
Mhm.
So I think it makes sense for Bob to have a conversation with Sarah and kind of nail down some of those potential details. And also for us to reach out to administration and the selectmen to make sure that they're agreeable to allowing us to partner with the Cape Cod Commission in this respect. So it seems like, personal opinion, it seems like it'll be a great service to us and a nice way for us to get some of the historic inventory work that needs to be done.
I have this, and I don't know if that came from Bob or Jean.
Think
Is
so.
that what you're,
Yeah, it's the clusters, right?
proposed cluster? Is that
I
what
think
you're?
Oh, yeah.
Is that was yours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes,
So that would give us
it
a
was.
rough number, right, of what?
And potentially more,
Okay.
right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
there's, I think, Bob, when you were kind of looking at clusters and looking at numbers,
Mhm.
was trying to figure out what we could do with kind of the CPC application that we had put in. And this, obviously, this may take some of the work that we had originally
Mhm.
intended to use CPC money for. They'll be able to do it. We may have to go in and update some of the information.
Yeah.
But it would provide us a more than solid foundation to work from.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
So, so if everybody agrees, we can, I'd entertain a motion to for us to pursue the project with the Cape Cod Commission and reach out to administration.
Motion to pursue as stated and to have Bob reach out to Sarah.
Second.
So motion's been made by Brendan Lowney, seconded by Julie Eldridge. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. So, that kind of, I don't know, is there anything else that you'd like to discuss about the property study?
The only
In
thing
general?
is Donna Kalnick from Brewster did
Oh.
share her RFP
Perfect.
so that we can use it if we go forward with,
With that portion of it.
yeah, it has all the good stuff in
So,
it.
yes, she had mentioned at the CPC meeting that she had done an RFP for part of what our project would entail, so.
Right,
So that's great. So we have that
Mhm.
for when we need it.
right.
Because we may still be doing
Well, we'll
some
do
of it.
some of it,
Right.
certainly.
So this will, I think this will be a
Mhm.
great opportunity for us to get some of this work done.
Right,
They
Um,
do so much stuff.
They do.
they do.
They do.
It's amazing.
So, and really it was John Einman that had suggested that Patty forward the email to me and reach out to her and talk to her. So I really appreciate the heads up from John in that respect. So let's, take advantage of what we can. Any other reports from commission members? Anybody have anything that we want to discuss, need to discuss? CPC, you want to give a CPC update?
Really nothing from the as far as historic is
Mhm.
concerned. We're just, the CPC now is just continuing reviewing updated reports from committees, and we're not due for another report for, I think, about 3 months or so.
Yep.
They had a gear up in a couple of months,
So the new
Well, for
applications.
the applications, that's what we're gearing up for now, actually, is changing the forms or reviewing the form for changes, basically, and some other administrative things.
And I believe we voted for Friday the 1st as being the
That is
date for
correct.
submission.
October 1st.
So we will expect any of the historic applications any application that is expecting to use historic funds, we would, again, expect them to come in and get on an agenda. So to anybody that is watching, if you are planning on submitting a CPC application seeking some of the historic funds from the Community Preservation Committee, then please reach out to the historic office, ask to speak with our assistant, Patty McCura, and see about getting on an agenda so that we can review that information. And so that the application will be in time for submission to CPC. Really don't have much else to report in my neck of the woods. Not much else on planning.
Yeah, I mean, Affordable Housing Trust, we're still working on the RFP for Sisson Road, the Junior Theater,
Mhm.
that piece of property. That's moving forward, so I'll keep you updated on that as it moves forward. But
And-
they'll definitely have to weigh in with Historic, obviously, because that's in the district. So.
Now, is that the Chloe's Path one that I
No,
read
no,
about?
that's
So where is
different. That's
Chloe's Path?
Down further.
Yeah, right
Behind
before
the
the police
police.
station, take a left,
Gotcha.
and that's something completely different.
Okay.
They
So
cleared
that's-
that out a couple of years ago, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, no, the
They
road's
still-
all built,
Yeah,
the
the road
road's all
service is
built,
there,
yeah, everything's in there.
That's a different project altogether.
So
That's
the
a
one you're
huge-
talking about is the one right behind the Junior Theater building?
Right.
That's
the part of
correct.
that property.
Right
It's
to that
correct,
little
and-
triangle.
Mhm.
And,
to-
and that is under the Historic Commission.
It is.
Correct.
It is. So I made my voice, heard about, it has to, that's gonna be in the RFP, that it has to be, any developer that comes in would have to
Yeah.
come in front of the board, or at least our input on the
Yeah.
building.
Right,
So-
And it was pretty clear at the time that it was always just supposed to be that back parcel. It wasn't supposed to affect the
It
Junior
doesn't-
Theater.
No,
property.
Yeah,
no, not
only
the
the
building
septic
itself.
system is,
Right.
whether it's shared or
Or
separate,
separate.
that's the,
Right.
but there's some parking implications for us to look at and things.
I'm sure.
View from the street.
that's a great.
The whole lot's
I'll bring
maybe,
more information next time.
I was
maybe an
curious
hour,
about that.
an acre and a quarter at
Yeah,
best.
it's about that, it's about that.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
But you can fit, maybe a quad in there and
Yeah.
4
Mhm.
units,
Oh, yeah,
some parking.
oh, at least, yeah.
Because you need the
Yeah.
septic, the reserve area, so a lot of the
Right.
land is taken up by that, so.
Right.
um,
Any units we can get that get us
Yeah.
towards the
Oh, yeah.
the housing production plan?
Yeah,
Came
And,
across that the other day.
Yeah.
It was like,
and nice looking units in the historic district. I think that's fantastic.
yeah,
I saw people going in and out of the convenience store today, and it was nice to see.
it's great, it's a great
know.
little building.
Mm.
I haven't been in there yet. Have you?
Yeah.
I have not been in there yet either, but I saw somebody coming out the door, and I thought, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's open and running, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
they're doing-
exactly what adding to the merchants on,
Yeah.
in the district, which just helps everybody, I think.
That's great. That's
I
great.
know we haven't been really asked to weigh in on the whole Howard Center thing, and I'm not sure where.
So I'm not sure that we were ever, I think we
We
were
were-
excluded from it.
I think so, but
Is that just a test to see if that would work?
that's what has been reported,
Yeah.
It has been
That's
reported that
it.
it is temporary.
right.
And if you look at it, really, everything kind of is temporary. There's
Yeah.
paint on
Yeah.
the street, there's,
Yeah, I think
Jersey
that's all gonna be, that's all
barriers
gonna be
and-
hardscape, yes.
The only thing that wasn't temporary is all the new handicap
Right.
Which
ramps.
is great, that's a great thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's good to
which were needed and necessary. It would have been nice to have a little
I don't know
input
how that
on.
that happened so
the
fast.
style.
I saw it
It
advertised.
had to be,
In,
It
at the
had to
seal,
be because of the,
and it just happened.
yeah.
it had to be because of the
Funds
uh,
ran out, May
funds had to be applied for.
Maybe it was
and
by end of May or something.
Right.
yeah.
At least I
I
got
think
the
at
handicap.
our last, I don't know if you were at our last meeting, I think I had questioned about it, and Mary said we really couldn't discuss too much because it wasn't on our agenda at the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I had questioned why
Mhm.
no one came, I didn't know if anyone had to come to us, that was my question.
I had questioned that as well,
So,
and it seemed to somehow bypass us.
okay, that's okay.
Hmm. For what it's worth.
Go get him, Chair.
Bob had asked the question as well, and it seemed to bypass us. I do think you did make it to one of the community meetings, though. Were you at one?
I
of-
did not,
You did not.
I
I went to
showed
the
up and it
original-
was the wrong day. It
Oh.
had happened the week before. I read in the newspaper and I
There was
thought
a-
it was coming up.
Yep.
No, it
It
was
was
too
in
late in the
fact-
That wasn't
paper.
part of the Harwich Initiative.
Not
No,
really, no.
no.
I must have, I had no idea.
No.
These were some coded funds, I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, it
right.
They
it
could have
was.
been.
It was
For the
encouraging
state or something like
sidewalks
that,
and
yeah.
COVID-
activity.
COVID funds. Yeah.
Well,
It-
something
it-
to the state or something like that.
It could have been, yes. It was a state grant,
Mhm.
and it needed, I guess it needed to include some traffic calming, so I think
Yeah.
that's the painted,
Yeah, well, they got
The-
that.
the painted street and whatever. But we have been told that it is temporary, so,
Let's see if it works.
I'm not sure if it has been a success as far as the traffic in Howard Center is worse than ever this
Yeah.
summer.
I,
There's just so many
Now,
people around.
It is nice to be wider,
Yeah.
because
It
the park's
is.
on one side, but
I did
it
have
has not
someone,
helped
Yeah.
calm
Taking
traffic.
that right off of
Right.
124, you could sneak onto the right and go.
Yeah, no, that's gone, and
That's
that,
gone. Well, will be
that's
gone.
saved.
Yeah.
I did have someone say to me that it was unfortunate that the new building was built so close to the street. And I said,
Well,
that was the point. The point was to have a streetscape.
right,
And, the comment was, well, now, we can't,
It's a hard line, yeah.
right, it's a hard, we can't back them up and widen the street.
well,
But that was the point. We didn't want it. We
They
wanted
traded
it.
the land
Well,
to
they're gonna-
lift ruggies
Right.
and move it back 10 feet.
Right.
yeah, I know.
Those were
the
already
whole
there.
thing.
Like they were, the
But
other,
That's never gonna happen.
right, the Three Sisters were already there.
You're not gonna move them
We-
back.
It,
No.
it wouldn't, it would have looked like the prior convenience store that
That's
didn't
down
fit
there.
in
Right,
if it wasn't a part of the walking streetscape.
It's gonna
So,
work, it's all gonna work out.
yeah,
yeah.
it will. It
That
will, but-
also facilitated that the parking's not in back instead of in front. That's what they originally wanted,
Right.
was the parking all invisible.
Right.
Now it's all pushed back, most of it.
Yeah.
So, I will say that it sounds like this board was disappointed that we were bypassed during the process, and hopefully that won't happen with future improvements in the historic district, because it shouldn't. So, that being said,
I know over the past couple of years, we've talked about, or it was brought up, I can't remember our alternate member, I can't remember his name. I don't know if you remember.
Angelo,
And I
Oh.
can't,
he is not anymore. He
but
is
he
n-
had mentioned something about like planters or something like that, and like other towns off Cape, like,
Mhm.
like Lexington, other towns like that.
Mhm,
Is there any, I mean, I know they do it in the summertime,
mhm.
but like to kind of beautify Harwich Center?
Well, the
Yeah.
corner's done every year, but
Right, but that's about it.
That's the, that's the,
it's getting there. Well, if they do the hardscape, where all the red is, if that hardscape is done, there's benches and other stuff, I'm sure there'll be other,
Mhm.
So I guess.
I don't know what, I mean.
streetlights on.
So I guess here's my comments. Any of those things that would have to be done would have to build them
Permanently.
into
Mhm.
probably a capital project.
Okay.
I don't know that CPC funds would be able to be used for any of those, but we would need to to convey that to administration, that that's something we'd like to see done, and see if there's a way to build that into a capital improvement budget, or build it into Public Works budget, or someone's budget to buy, say, whether it's permanent planters, and see about, you know, whether it's streetlights or whether it's, you know, other things, you know, Brenda just mentioned streetlights,
Yeah.
things like that, but, so, that's certainly something that we can put on the next agenda. This is now when administration and the selectmen are speaking with departments to get their budgets ready for the fall and for really January, so now's the time to start thinking
Yeah.
about it. If we wanna do that, we should put an agenda item on
Yeah.
our
I'm just
next
That's it.
agenda.
Another agenda item that's, is the mill stone that was on Brooks Park. There was one on both sides of Oak Street,
Mm-hmm.
and they just did redo the one on the park side, but the one on the east side, west side,
Yep.
was removed, and it's supposedly at the Department of Public Works,
Okay,
and that we need to find a location for that and insist that they bring it back to Howard Center.
so, I wasn't familiar with it,
Yep.
so can you give us some, why was it removed?
It was removed when they first did the handicap, the first version of the handicap
Mhm.
on that intersection. They removed it
Okay,
and put in the handicap. Now, they had to redo the handicap on this
Right.
latest. I don't know why or whatever,
Mhm.
or maybe there's two of them. And they removed it, and they were supposed to put it back after they put in the handicap, and that has never been done.
okay,
That's right,
so,
there used to be two turns done.
Yeah, and that was the, it was the matching set from Brooks, from his mill.
okay.
So it's historical, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
so there's gonna be a
So-
spot for it somewhere on that property.
Yeah, on that property, or maybe Brooks Academy.
Oh, sure, down in
where's
the
that?
back in the garden.
Yeah.
So is it only
Okay.
one that's missing now, or is it both?
One.
It's one.
They put one back.
So,
Yeah.
then we will reach out to, if everyone's in agreement, we'll reach out to administration and ask them
Right.
to reach out to Public Works or whoever has the millstone
Who
and
has it?
see where it is and see what it will take for us to relocate that back to a place that's appropriate. Do you know about what year that was removed?
Ooh,
A while ago.
it
is what
was a
you're telling me.
while ago. I would say 8 years ago,
So-
7 years ago.
So it's far overdue from being replaced.
Right, right.
And returned. And you said that was the original millstone from the
From-
Brooks Mill.
Brooks Mill, which I think was in that area. I think it was a windmill, actually.
Really?
I think it may have been,
Okay.
and it was
Interesting.
near that
Bob would
property.
know.
He's our font of information.
He really
Yes.
is, I know.
And I appreciate it
Yeah, absolutely.
very, very, very much. So, okay, I will, if everyone's agreeable, I will reach out to administration about the
Yes,
millstone as
please.
well. And let's put something on the next agenda to talk about potential historic district beautification items, if there's something there, whether
I know,
they're.
it's interesting, I was just curious, I mean, I know I had mentioned before, like, you don't even see the sign when you come in, and it's like
Mhm.
a historic district, it's hard to see, let me put it that way.
Mhm.
I know
It
it's
is, it's
there,
small.
but it's small.
It's small,
Mhm.
and it's brown. Is it brown for a
Yeah.
reason?
No, I don't know.
I didn't know
I
if there
didn't
was
put it
a.
in
Brown
there,
is, yeah,
was
there's one right across the street from my house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was a reason that they were brown in particular, or just seems to me that in our district they would
like the state park brown.
Right,
They're like-
Yeah,
exactly, they're
very
just an
hard.
they're an odd color.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Because I would have expected black and white, I guess,
Yeah.
on them,
Mhm.
particularly with all of the, I don't know, I just think of black and white when it comes to historic
Yeah.
districts. But, so we can put an item to discuss potential historic district projects. Or
You know, I'll drive
historic
around and I'll
projects.
locate all the signs. There's like 5 or 6 of them.
All right,
I've seen one
Fantastic.
coming in,
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah,
You're
there are,
surprised.
yeah.
yeah, there's
They're
one on
around.
Sis, I know
I'll
there's one
track
on
'em down.
Sisson.
I'll track it down.
I'll bring them all to the next meeting.
Fantastic. Sisson near Forest, I think, is the first one that you see.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm trying to think of, that's the only one I've seen, there's gotta be one on,
Yeah, they're,
And I think
yeah.
there's one right near the church.
Yeah.
And you're right, they're more than you think, than you
Yeah, they're-
realize
they're-
when you,
now I'm
when
gonna
you
have to
start
look
looking.
for it when I'm driving
Look for
around.
Pay attention to your driving.
Well,
Yes.
when Eric can start driving in, then I'll,
There you go.
There you go.
I'll
There
take
you go.
pictures.
Anything else we need to discuss this evening?
That's it.
I don't think so.
No other updates? Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So, motion to adjourn.
Alright, you guys were way
Second.
too quick.
All right. Motion made by Bob Stone, the second by, you get a second?
Second.
Brendan Lowney will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Now Patty, you have to press the button
Yeah, the
too.
I
second
kind of
part.
like the smaller room. No?